is show up with open hands, open eyes. It's in this we realize, coming together here, we sharing more than enough. Awakening, enlivening, deeply healing, making all things new. Thank you, grace. Thank you, love. We're ever becoming, that's the honest truth. We're ever becoming, that's the honest truth. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. As we gather, I invite you to say hello in the chat, make your presence known. Also, you might have seen the optional bonus questions for the chat, and or they could be personal journal prompts for you as you are here in this time together. I'm so grateful you're here. I'm Heatherlyn, and this is Soul Song Saturdays with Heatherlyn, your minister of magic. Our first song here, as we're gathering, is Open Hearts, inspired by my dear friend Kate Christensen Martin. Some of these words she said, and I started to hear them in melodic form, and I was like, I think we got to do a little song. So please do say hello. If you'd like, gather your coffee or your tea. Gather 3 candles if you'd like to join me in lighting candles in a moment. And grab your journal if you'd like to do that, if you'd like to join in that way. All right, this is Open Hearts. I'm going to do one more pass through the song, okay? Open hearts, open minds, spirit stirring within. All we do is show up with open hands, open eyes. It's in this we realize, coming together here, we're sharing more than enough. Awakening, enlivening, deeply healing, making all things new. Thank you, grace. Thank you, love. We're ever becoming, that's the honest truth. We're ever becoming, that's the honest truth. Open hearts, open minds, spirit stirring within. All we do is show up. Yes, my friends, thank you so much for showing up here with me this morning for Soul Song Saturdays, live music and mystical musings with yours truly, Heatherlyn, Minister of Magic. I am so grateful to share this time with you. This is actually, y'all, our very first pre-recorded Soul Song Saturday. Jason and I, as you are viewing this, Jason and I are driving back from near Durango, Colorado, where I'll have just performed in the Sangha Festival, a yoga and music festival just outside of Durango, Colorado. So because I was not sure exactly where we would be or what the Wi-Fi connectivity would be, and we certainly can't, at least at the moment, don't have a plan to, take our studio with us. So I might actually, in a couple of weeks, come to you just from my laptop in San Diego. But for this week, we pre-recorded. So normally I would be sharing your hellos on the screen and stuff like that. But even though I am not live, I would ask you, it means so much to me to know that you are here. So please say hello in the chat. And if I am able to join you in the chat briefly during this, the premiere of this, streaming live, I will join you in the chat and let you know I'm watching back with you. So thank you for being here again. Thank you for showing up. And I do come trusting that Spirit is stirring within. So often the narratives in our culture would tell us that we have to do so much more than show up. But my friends, I believe that showing up is most of it, showing up with our whole heart, showing up in love, showing up. So maybe you would like to share an intention for the way you would like to show up to this time together. You could share that in the chat. And also one of those bonus questions is, what are the vibrations that you want to cultivate in your own being? What is your soul song that you would like to nourish within your own being? And perhaps this time together will be nourishing for that for you. I hope so. You could also journal or write in the chat the sort of ways you desire to show up to others in your sphere of influence, in your realm. And so what sort of vibrational energy, what sort of song do you want to emanate from your life, So in our first practice of presence for our Soul Song Saturdays, I want to invite you to our invocation of presence, where we light 3 candles together. If you have 3 candles at home, or if you'd like to designate this practice in another way, you're welcome to do so. You could simply put a candle emoji in the chat if you like, or hearts, or words of what this first candle would represent for you. So often in our practice together, I designate the first candle for however you would define the divine mystery. This being the soul song of life, the very essence of life, the primordial song or hum that breathes all living things into existence. In Sanskrit, the word for that soul song, that primordial song, is Om. And we'll later in our time together, we'll do a mantra with Om in it, and I'll share more about that. In the Celtic cosmology, this is the Oran Mor, this originating song. In Christianity, there's this idea of word being spoken and life happening. So we recognize that words and song and stories are performative and alive and activating. So this is the divine by many names, the great mystery, the essence of life. I invite you to take a deep breath. Remembering you are inherently, intrinsically interconnected to that divine mystery. You are connected to this song of life. The second candle represents acknowledging the presence of, welcoming the presence of our team. And this could be spirit guides in the energetic realm. This could be people who are on your heart today that you are feeling present to, or people who are showing you presence that's life-giving right now. So taking a deep breath, we honor the presence of our kind-hearted ancestors, perhaps guardian angels, helping elementals like the fairies, if you believe in them. And you can share in the chat what that represents to you, your team, spiritually or physically. And then welcoming you here, welcoming yourself, your whole self here. your personal iteration of the soul song of the universe, your personal soul song, your hum of life. And I invite you to take a deep breath, 3 deep breaths for this candle, welcoming your own presence of your heartbeat, and maybe even placing your hand on your heart, recognizing this rhythm of you, this pulse in your vein, this beat of your drum. And take another deep breath, acknowledging, welcoming your mind and your thoughts, your intellect, and all that may be coming through, all that may be surfaced or stirred in your thoughts. And maybe take a step back as a compassionate witness to just notice them and say, hello, hi, there you are, with non-judgment. And consider thinking of each thought as a cloud moving through the sky. And they are passing through. And then another deep breath for your embodiment, arriving here in your body. Your soul song enlivening this organic, biological entity that is you. It's all a part of you. Arriving here and now in this place. Again, I am so grateful for your presence here. If you have not yet said hello and made your presence known, I invite you to do so. If you've not yet shared this video, please do so. You can welcome into this space others that you would like to share in these practices of presence, of showing up, of attuning to our soul songs and the resonance that we find perhaps in one another or in nature and around us, contemplating the meaning of soul song today. So I'd like to share with you this song from Ziggy Marley. Many of you know that Bob Marley is one of my icons, one of my heroes, someone who's so inspirational to me as someone who, a very successful artist, very, very incredible songs, sexy songs, and also he had something to say. He had a message to share. And he was attuned, I believe, to his soul song and what mattered to him most. And he was authentic and true. And that vibrational hum impacted so many people for the good, for the better, for justice, for equality, and for one love. So I love that Ziggy Marley, in so many ways, seems to be carrying on that soul song of his father. Carrying on that legacy. I do feel like soul song for me is about legacy, right? Not one that we just leave behind after we're gone, but one that we share with one another now. Just as if we leave if we leave a space when we've departed from the people we've encountered there, that's sort of leaving a little bit of a legacy behind, right? It's leaving the trail, the echoes of your song. So this is Love is My Religion. Love is my religion. Love is my religion. Love is my religion. And I'll take you to the temple tonight. All my days I've been searching to find out what this life is worth. Through the books and Bibles of time, I've made up my mind. I don't condemn, I don't convert, no. This is the calling, have you heard? Bring all the lovers to the fold, 'cause 'cause no one's gonna lose their soul. Love is my religion. Love is my religion. Love is my religion. You can take it or leave it. You don't have to believe it, no. Hey, I don't wanna fight. Hey, let's go fly a kite. There's nothing that we can't cure. I'll keep you in my arms for sure. Don't let nobody stop us, no. Free spirits have to soar. With you I share the gift that we now know. Love is my religion. Love is my religion. Ooh, love is my religion. You can take it or leave it. You don't have to believe it. Well, I'm done searching now. I found out what this life is worth. Not in the books did I find, but in searching my mind. I don't condemn, I don't convert. This is the calling, have you heard? Bring all the lovers to the fore. No one's gonna lose their soul. No, love is my religion. Love is my religion. Ooh, love is my religion. You can take it or leave it. You don't have to believe it. Love is my religion. All we need is love. Love is my religion. All we need is love. Oh, love is my religion. Ooh, all we need is love. All we need is love. All we need is love. Yes, Love is My Religion by Ziggy Marley. So grateful to him for writing such a cool, funky song that says some good things. As I was singing this, I was thinking about kind of the conversation in my mind with his lyrics. Like, I'm done searching now. I found out what this life is worth. Not in the books did I find, but in searching my mind. So for me, many of you know that I come from a very oppressive religious background that was basically cultish, and there was divinely validated fear and shame that was often used to control and manipulate and get you to look like them, a form of assimilation, actually. And I was taught that you had to search, and you had to search for the divine. You had to search for the light. You had to do all these good things. You had to look a certain way, talk a certain way, be a certain way, ascribe to a very particular moral code to be accepted, to not lose your soul, to be a part of the fold, you know? And I would say I am a seeker, you know, like I will be searching and seeking my entire life, right? Because it's about wonder for me, because it's about curiosity for me, because it's about understanding or approaching or desiring understanding of another person's perspective of their human existence, of this wild and wondrous experience that we are all sharing together, and we were all having a unique experience of it, you know? So, I mean, I love books, but it's not necessarily where I'm going to find my soul song, right? Like reading and learning and fostering that curiosity, cultivating that courageous, compassionate curiosity, right? For myself and for others, recognizing that we are all shaped by narrative, that is going to help me understand more about how other people show up in the world, and it's going to help me appreciate that, or at least maybe judge it less, you know? So I just love this. Bring all the lovers to the fold. No one's going to lose their soul. Love is my religion. You can take it or leave it. You don't have to believe it, right? And I appreciate that as well, because in that narrative that I grew up in, there was this weight and this heaviness that you had to tell other people this particular version of that story. And that their salvation, the salvation of their souls was like on my own hands, you know? And so now I find so much joy in saying to people, and anyone who cares to listen, anyone who resonates with this, you are whole as you are. Even the parts of yourself that you experience as brokenness, they are teachers, they are guides, they are areas that are calling to you for healing and for understanding and to work with them, you know? Just like Leonard Cohen says, you know, the cracks are where the light shines in through. So, my friends, I do believe that these practices of presence allow us to drop in, to listen. What is my soul's song? What is my particular expression of the great song of life? And so often I think our egos, and people will talk about this in all kinds of ways, right? Like the ego is not necessarily a bad thing. We don't have to be binary or dualistic about this, right? And I think sometimes our egos can distract us so much from our hearts, our wholeheartedness, because our egos tend to believe that deep wound that we seem to have in our collective consciousness or our collective psyche, which is a lie, this wound, this idea that we're separated from one another. And we aren't separated from one another. We are interconnected. We are never alone. But the ego wants to tell us that we are what we do, what we have, what others think of us, you know, and anything that really separates me from others or from the divine. And so when we take time to be present to the thoughts that are running through our head, we can go, okay, let's sift this out now. I think this is from my heart and my soul. This is the deeper, truer resonance of me. And this thing over here is probably coming from my ego that's maybe trying to protect me. It's maybe in survival mode. It's maybe a trauma response. And thank you for seeking to help me out, ego. Thank you. You're doing your job, right? And also, I am gonna be in conversation with these thoughts and bring in a new story. You know. That I am so much more than what I do and what I have and what others think of me. And in fact, I really believe that changing the story of our lives to be one that reflects our true essence, so often it's not necessarily about becoming something we weren't before. It's simply peeling back these layers, right? It's peeling back the storylines that have been imposed upon us, the scripts that have been imposed upon us, the roles and expectations of those roles that have been placed upon us for whatever reason, right? If it's a gender role or whatever it might be. So I'm happy that you're here today. I'm happy that we're here together. I deeply value this practice of story dwelling. It's a personal practice of mine and a word I made up. Many of you know it's also the title of one of my talk show LIVEstreams, and I'll invite you to the next one later on in our time together when we come to gifts and invitations. But this is a practice of my life, and I wanted it to be a part of Soul Song Saturdays to share with you, if you so choose, to try this out and see if it's of benefit to you and a blessing to you. So as we think about the legacies that we may leave behind, the energy that we share with people, our presence, our good friend Isaac Archuleta has said, love is an environment. And that is about how people feel around you, right? And of course, we can't always fully show up, necessarily all bright and bubbly, right? And that's not the thing, right? Like I had a really rough day the other day, and I showed up to one of my gigs, and instead of letting the pain that I was in lead my experience, lead my energy in that space, I was simply honest about what I was experiencing. That I didn't need to talk about it, but I was hurting and having a really, really tough day. Still there. And but instead of letting that get in the way of being present to the here and now and the people that I was around and the work that was there for me to do, I at least in this moment, I was able to come at it with compassion for myself and to let people know, like, if I seemed a little off, like, it wasn't about them. It was about what I was going through. And then to do my best to show up with compassion to those around me too, that what I was feeling and experiencing internally wasn't about them, So here's a song that I co-wrote with my friend Steve Bassett. This is on our Dance of the Deep EP, which you can find at heatherlynmusic.com/music. And you can find it, actually, it's not on there. I just remembered. We didn't get it embedded on that page, but you can find it anywhere you stream your music. So you can find Heatherlyn on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, YouTube Music, and look up the Dance of the Deep EP. And so this is the poetry of Steve's and my music. And I just love this song. So may it be a blessing to you today. When dies the day? When dims the light? What will remain of my struggle, my fight? When fades my song? When flies my breath? Will you speak of this more, or remember it less? 'Cause I've traveled so far. Sometimes it's been hard, so hard. But your love drew me on. Your smile made me strong. Oh, I'll miss you, my love. When this dance is all done, I wish from my heart this dance would go on. When tolls the bell, when calls the prayer, what tales will be told of what happened there? When rises my soul, when it glimpses the shore, will there be any trace of what we're here for? 'Cause I've traveled so far. Sometimes it's been hard, so hard. But your love drew me on. Your smile made me strong. Oh, I'll miss you, my love. When this dance is all done, I wish from my heart this dance could go on. So pray with all might when the world drives you you down, go deeper than deep, lose all to be found, and love like a storm, like the world's not enough. Oh, never give in, keep rising up. Oh, I've traveled so far, sometimes it's been hard, so hard. But your love drew me on, your smile made me strong. Oh, I'll miss you, my love, when this dance is all done. I wish from my heart this dance would go on. When Dies the Day, written by my friend Steve Bassett, music by yours truly. Heatherlyn, your Minister of Magic, welcome to Soul Song Saturdays. Live music and mystical musings. When Dies the Day is on our Dance of the Deep EP, which you can find anywhere you stream your music. Thank you so much. And if you do go to heatherlynmusic.com/music, you'll find a lot of other material there. You can peruse and just hang out at heatherlynmusic.com, and there's old archives of videos, and you can read my bio and all those kinds of things. You can send me an email if you'd like to share. If you're doing the journal prompts today, and that is creating something good for you, I would love to hear. I can understand if you maybe don't want to share all of that in the chat, but if you are comfortable sharing in the chat too, that would be really great. You can also, of course, reach out if you want to book me for something. What's really fun about our setup here is that you can book me to do Zoom concerts for your community anywhere in the world. So that just crossed my mind, so I thought I'd mention it and being present to what's coming through. All right, cheers. So thank you for participating in story dwelling with me, cultivating courageous, compassionate curiosity for ourselves and one another. And we notice when resonance happens, when something is connecting with our soul song, or maybe if we're experiencing resistance, and then we can draw in compassionate curiosity for that too, and kind of think about what that's about and what's going on there. Living with awareness and intentionality and consciousness. One of the things that I value so much in my personal practices, and especially to support my mental health and my re-narrating, which is not only re-narrating in terms of just the general story, but often we can actually create new neural pathways, right? And so mantras, that's a Sanskrit word for mind vehicle. And some of you know that I'm certified as a yoga teacher, trauma informed. And one of the ways that has kind of that is showing up in my work is this combination of mindfulness, guided breath and meditation, and of course with live music. So today I would really love to share with you my loka. So in yogic practice, there is a common mantra called the loka. It's an ancient Sanskrit mantra. It sounds like this: Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. And there are many, I've heard many English interpretations of this. And so I learned the meaning of this mantra, and then in my own way created, kind of my own English interpretation of it. May all beings be blessed and free. May all my thoughts and the words I speak, may every movement of my hands and feet bring happiness and harmony. And then the chorus of this mantra song is Om Shanti Om. And so we talked earlier about how in Sanskrit, in the sacred scriptures of Hinduism, Om is the sound of the primordial song, kind of an initiating energy. It represents creation. And Om actually has three sounds to it. It's ah, o, and all together it's like And so you may practice that at home if you'd like to try it out. I find it deeply grounding. It's something that, you take in a deep, long inhale, and then you exhale each of the three sounds. And I find it soothing and grounding. And then it can be a reminder that we are connected to this infinite song, this eternal song. And like I said, there are different names for this in various spiritual traditions and philosophies and mystical paths. So if you have another word for Om, that song, initiating song and sustaining song of life, feel free to share it in the chat there. And Shanti simply means peace. So I invite you to, if you're able, whatever you're doing right now, if you're in a position to find yourself 5 or 10% more comfortable, maybe sitting taller or elongating your body if you're lying down, giving your body more space to breathe. And if you'd like to hum along where you are or sing along, if you've heard this before or if it kind of catches you, feel free where you are. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. May all beings be blessed and free. May all my thoughts and the words I speak, may every movement of my hands and feet bring happiness and harmony. Peace to all, this is the song of the universe. Peace through all, we join in the song of the whole earth. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. May all beings be blessed and free. May all my thoughts and the words I speak, may every movement of my hands and feet bring happiness and harmony. Peace to all, this is the song of the universe. Peace through all, We join in the song of the whole earth. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Om Shanti Om. Peace, peace, dear ones. The musical apothecary for me is my combination of live music and mantra or mindfulness or meditation. And of course, Heatherlyn's musical apothecary album will be out later this summer. Hopefully, we're planning on sometime in the first half of September before Jason and I head to the UK to do a 9 Beats Collective tour. So be on the lookout for that. The Loka didn't make it onto that album, but I have these musical apothecary experiences that are longer than this segment for Soul Song Saturdays, where we do those kinds of things. So be on the lookout. Those are the kinds of things that I extend various invitations to, here and there. So please connect, please follow on socials, and connect perhaps on my Patreon. That's where you get all the good stuff, all the backstories, all of the ideas that I'm musing on before they come into being. And you can check out my link tree there and see all the different places that you can connect and be part of this work, this life's work of mine. Our next practice of presence is gratitude, weekly sharing in the practice of gratitude together. So I would love for you to share your gratitudes, whatever they may be, in the chat while I'm playing this next song. This song is called Thank You by a Belfast artist named Ben Kyle, but he has been based in Minneapolis. So I met him when Jason and I were living in Minneapolis. Belfast, Ireland is where he's from originally. Ben Kyle, he writes just beautiful, beautiful songs. So in the chat, y'all, please feel free to share your gratitudes. Maybe you're grateful for that place that you found, you experienced some resonance this week. Gratitude for where kindness showed up. Gratitude for the people in your life who sing your song back to you when you forget it. You know what I'm saying? I'm so grateful for those humans in my life. So grateful. So perhaps you can mention their names, and you could also tag them to invite them to join you for Soul Song Saturdays this morning. Here is Thank You. Thank you for the way you make a feeling real, rolling through my heart like a Ferris wheel. Thank you for a pretty little laughing heart. Thank you from my heart. Thank you for the way you make your light to shine in between the shadows in the back of my mind. Thank you for the children and the love that I found. Thank you from my heart. Thank you from my heart. Let there be light, let there be love, let there be space. Let all the water flow together through the ether and gather in a beautiful place. Thank you for the way you make the showers fall like a blanket on the valley when the flowers call. Thank you for creating and sustaining it all. Thank you from my heart and my soul. Thank you for the way you make the music play in between the quiet on a beautiful day. Thank you for the meaning in the things we say. Thank you from my heart. Thank you from my heart. Let there be light, let there be love, let there be space. Let all the water flow together through the ether and gather in a beautiful place. Let there be earth, let there be sea, let there be sky. Let all the water flow together through the ether and gather over you and I. Oh, 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 oh. Thank you for the way you make the flowers grow up through the cracks in my fractured soul. Thank you for the way the healing waters flow. Thank you from my heart and my soul. Thank you for the way you make the moonlight shine. Between me and the horizon there's a perfect line, like a love upon the ocean anybody can find. Thank you from my heart and my mind. Thank you from my heart and my mind. Let there be light, let there be love, let there be space. Let all the water flow together through the ether and gather in a beautiful place. Let there be earth, let there be sea, let there be sky. Let all the water flow together through the ether and gather over you and I. Oh, 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 thank you for the way you make my soul to sing with the feeling there's a meaning here in everything. Thank you for giving me the gift I bring. Thank you from my heart. Thank you from my heart. That song is Thank You by Ben Kyle. You can find him on benkyle.com. So grateful. Thank you for sharing your gratitudes. Even though we're pre-recorded today, I am trusting that you are sharing in the chat, and I so look forward to reading that chat. So please know that when we are on the road coming back from the Sangha Festival, I will be doing my best to chime in on the chat here to watch this with you as it premieres on my YouTube channel and on my other spaces if I can set it up to do so. But for sure this will premiere, or is premiering now as you're watching. And I love to hear from you. So whether or not I can be in the chat with you this morning as you're watching, know that I will be coming back to check your comments and respond to them. So thank you so much for your presence here and now. Thank you for chatting with me. Thank you for your support as well for this show, and honestly for my life's work, y'all. This is my life's work, and I do this work because this is my soul song emanating out into the world. And to be honest with you, I do not have the time, energy, or bandwidth for what they call a real job. This is my life's work, and I am dedicated to it. I quit my real job back in 2009, and my partner and I have been making a lot of risks. We have taken on a lot of risks to do this work, to openly offer our artistry and expertise. Of course, we do a lot of gigs and a lot of work that we are hired to do and paid for. And there's a lot of work like this where we are openly offering our gifts. And so we want to invite you and welcome you and thank you for your support, whether it's your monthly support through Patreon, or you can also set up a monthly support gift through PayPal. Or if it's a one-time thing that you know you can do today, but you don't know if you can do it other times of the year. We are so grateful to you, y'all. You are the ones who make this happen. We do not have a trust fund. We are not independently wealthy. We struggle. We often are sort of like, how are we going to pay for the rent and our healthcare stuff, and all the things, the bare necessities, y'all, the bare necessities of life, the things that are human rights. And so you are our safety net, especially those of you who are able to come on board Patreon. Thank you. You are life support. You are a safety net. You give us confidence to move forward, to openly and freely offer what is in our hearts to create and to give. And so that is why when you become a part of my Patreon community, I bring you along the journey. And I share with you the ebbs and flows and the ups and downs and the struggles, my mental health challenges, all of those things. I share with you everything I can on the journey, everything that feels good to share, I share with you. So also, it's not only monetary support that matters. That is very significant and matters a whole lot, but I really do want to emphasize how much your engagement in following me and sharing my music with other people matters so much, y'all. It matters so much. Even engaging my content on socials matters a lot. If you just heart something, if you like it, if you comment on it, the more activity and engagement my content receives, the more the algorithm gods are satisfied and appeased, and the more that they will give back to us as we do that. So if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please help us get that number up. That will help me eventually, possibly one of these days, generate an income stream that will help sustain the content that I create and put out with our love streams, our live streams. All of this really matters. And of course, sharing my work with others really matters. So I want to invite you, since we're on following things, please be on the lookout for my song Interfere, y'all. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. The studio recording of my song Interfere is so damn good. It is so good, y'all. And it makes me tear up because at the end, it sounds, there's instead of just me singing the closing part of this song, which you'll hear in a moment, I'm going to close out our Soul Song Saturdays with this song, a solo acoustic version. Instead of me just singing love is love is love is love, so let it be, it sounds like a whole throng, a chorus. I can envision them walking through the streets just singing, love is love is love is love is love, so let it be. And it's over and over and over again, and it's so powerful, you all. So this is a continuation of Pride. I would really like you to pre-order. If you download your music, I would love for you to pre-order this now, because it is available for pre-ordering now on Amazon Music and iTunes. So please be a part of that. I would love for you to find the Facebook event page. If you haven't already found it, get on there. Simply join to celebrate with us. Simply join to tell people about this song and help us build some energy and excitement around it. Friday, July 21st is when this song has its worldwide digital release, and I am so excited. I am so thrilled. We mentioned story dwelling earlier. Of course, story dwelling is one of the regular practices of presence that I share with you on a regular basis in our Soul Song Saturdays. I also have a story dwelling talk show or LIVEstream, which is always at a specially appointed time. Each story dwelling episode has a guest, and this will be an evening show on a Tuesday. So check that out, Tuesday, August 29th. I would love for you to put this on your calendar. You can look up Reverend Ogun Holder. He's Reverend because he is ordained in the Unity Church, and he also is incredible at helping people find their truest, most authentic selves. In his word, it's your holiest self. So removing all the things that are in the way from your truest, holiest, most sacred self. He does work like that. He has a podcast with another, a partner in that work, a collaborator, and he does a lot of anti-racism work. He was a special guest, a musical guest on the previous episode of Soul Song Saturdays, and it was just a delight to have him. And he shared with us just briefly his thoughts on the difficult practice of loving even our enemies. And it was so juicy, so rich. So this will be a wonderful time together. Make note of the time. It's a different time than we usually do because he will be on the East Coast. So we're doing 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, 5 o'clock Pacific. So that's 6 o'clock my time, Mountain time, and 7 o'clock Central for Tuesday, August 29th, Heatherlyn Story Dwelling LIVEstream with Ogun Holder. We'll be talking about deconstructing narratives and anti-racism work. So thank you. Of course, every single Saturday, we want to invite you back here for live music and mystical musings with yours truly, your minister of magic, where I share with you musings on all things mystical, psychological, spiritual, things that I have, some of these things I have degrees in and certifications in, and some of these things I just am a constant seeker and learner, and I have, this abundance of curiosity to explore and learn about people's perspectives and ideas and how they make meaning of this wild and wondrous human experience. And then, of course, my hope, my prayer, my desire is that Soul Song Saturdays may be of spiritual nourishment to you, may be encouragement to you to be love in the world. Please check out all of my shows coming up. If you are in the Denver area, we have a local showcase of songwriters. If you want to come on Tuesday, so as you're watching this, it'll be this coming Tuesday, July 18th. It's at the Lodge at Woods Boss Brewing. And this is the Lori Michelle Music monthly songwriter showcase. Lori Michelle Music is the host of this, the curator of this, and she moves it to different venues every 6 months or so, I believe is what she told me. So if you would like to come to this, please Venmo me $12 and indicate that it is for this July 18th show, and I will put your name on the list. I do not benefit monetarily from any day of sales at the door or any of the event online sales. So please just directly Venmo me $12, and I'm going to be giving 30% of that to the venue. And I would love, love, love to see you in person. So please join for that. You can see this is I'm one of the featured spotlights. Clearly that's why I'm inviting you. All right. So I think we have that. And then I want you to please go to my website and check out all of my stuff there, heatherlynmusic.com/events, so that you can check out my San Diego dates as well. So if you are in San Diego, I have 2 singer-songwriter showcases in this last full week of July, Monday and Tuesday. I'm doing singer-songwriter showcases. At least 1 or 2 of them. Ben Grace will also be there. Ben Grace's Story in Tune with his wife, Karen, Girl of Cardigan. They are so awesome, and I'm so excited to see them. And then the one full concert I'm doing in San Diego, it's actually in El Cajon at our dear friends, Larry and Corey, are hosting us there in their little amphitheater on their beautiful property, which has been a home away from home for us. We've house sat for them. We've lived with them a month at a time, doing artist in residencies in San Diego. There's no cover charge, but obviously donations will be received. So think about what a quality concert ticket price would be. That's Thursday, July 27th, if you want to put that on your calendar. All right. I think that about covers it. Please do put on your calendar the party, the live concert for Heatherlyn's Musical Apothecary album release concert. Very soon I will be able to announce to you the worldwide digital release of this album, but this is when we are going to all be converging at Enigma Bazaar in a northern neighborhood, the Berkeley neighborhood of Denver. And we will get ticket sales up for this soon as well, but please save this date, October 20th, 10:20. Come celebrate with us. Story and Tune will be one of the opening acts. I'm going to ask another Denver-based duo to open for me, and then we will have a full band and strings trio with us. Hopefully, that's what we're planning on. That's what we're working towards. So please put that in your calendar as well. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for your contributions and for being a part of this time together. Thank you for your support in this time together. Thank you for attending our very first pre-recorded episode of the weekly Soul Song Saturdays, live music and mystical musings with Heatherlyn, your minister of magic. I hope this has been a magical time for you. I hope this has been a time when you could practice believing in magic for a little while, allowing yourself to take a look at your experience of this human existence with wonder and curiosity and realness and a lot of love. So as we go into this coming week, y'all, I want to remind you and ask you, and I will do the same, be brave in your belovedness and trusting the inherent belovedness of all others. Be courageous in kindness. All right. And as we go on our way, I'm sending you off with my song, Interfere, that will be released on Friday, July 21st. Interfere, Love is Love, my pride song. It is just simply an anthem to love, an ode to love in all of its forms. In the vibrational energy that I want to send out into the world as much as I possibly can in every waking moment. In all of my work, I desire so much to, as I believe the Apostle Paul said this, yes, to live and move and have our being in love. So may we do so. All you lovers, all you lonely, are you dreaming sweetly or believing just barely? All you devoted, all you disillusioned, if you're wrapped up in romance, caught in confusion. Whoever you are, wherever you've been, your heart might be fractured, but it hasn't met its end. Feel it throbbing for hope, a home, a change. Time to throw down the pretense and all that's feigned. You gotta let love interfere, soothe and heal. Hold your hopes and calm your fears. Let love interfere. Ooh. Well, it's the wisdom of the sage and the way of the seer. Love is the weaver and the wheel. Love is the longing, love the contentment, the thirst and the drink that quenches it. You gotta let love interfere, soothe and heal. Hold your hopes and calm your fears, and let love interfere. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, I gotta let go, release my resistance. The channels of my heart are clear. I gotta let go, release my resistance. The channels of my heart are clear. Always got something to prove, somewhere to be. Here there's no ladder climbing, no lofty tiers. The place where earth and heaven meets. Hold your restraints, bust at the seams. When you let love interfere, come closer, come near. As the rains raise the streams to wash away the weeds, and let love take it from here. Ooh, 'cause love is love is love is love is love, so let it be. Hey, love is love is love is love is love, so let it be. Is love, is love, is love, so let it be. Hey, love, is love, is love, is love, is love, so let it be. Let it be, you all. Thank you so much for being here today. Peace and all the good stuff to you and yours. See you next time.